Hello friends, it's your favorite neighborhood nerd Simone. I saw these hanging in the trees on my walk and I thought it would be so fun to start my video like this. This is Max, this is the ginormous poop bag that I'm carrying, and this is me. Let's walk a little. I'll show you the sky. We're expecting a winter storm and it looks very dramatic. Alright, so this is the sky to the east. If I'm panning over here, there is a tiny bit of blue sky towards the north, and then there's trees, clearly. This is all the black stuff back here is California and the Sierra Nevada, and there is dark clouds coming over the mountains from here, and this is normally where our weather comes from. I'm not sure if I ever told you about these little trees in the background there. I think in the spring I said I want to walk up there. I haven't been there yet. Usually when I'm walking out here with Max, it's already so late and they appear to be closed. But I think if I really want to do a hike up there, it's going to be something like a 10-mile hike. And that's not something that you do on a workday afternoon. Max is already down here. This is where we usually walk. We walk down here. There's a, what is that, tiny canyon thingamajig where there's water running if it rains, and then we go down, go that loop, come back up here. Most of the time we walk back the same way that we came, but especially now that it's cold, there is no rattlesnakes that we need to be afraid of, so Max can actually just roam and run and sniff and have a lot of fun. And I'm having a lot of fun too. I just can't get enough of the drama the sky is demonstrating up there. So every time I come out here, which is almost daily, I'm just, it fills my cup so much. I'm often so surprised because this looks so drab, so bare, so colorless, but it is not. There's so much color in here. There's purples and oranges down here. There's so much more than you suspect when you look at it from far away, and I love it. Can't get enough. So I take advantage of this area as long as it's not too hot, because this is basically not usable during the summer month. Come here. Good boy. Someone just went the wrong way, so he had to be called back. Did you see how he just came right away? That I wouldn't have thought this was possible around this time last year. I'm so glad this is how our relationship has come. And yeah, so I'm taking you to my desk. I already filmed all of the snippets stuff on my desk. I hope you have a lot of fun. There is some inking of a fountain pen. There is ephemera, switching up traveler's notebooks. There is some decoration of my 2026 journals. And I'm going ham and wild, and I love it, and I hope you do the same thing. So see you at the desk in a second. Let's just hope I filmed an introduction outside. Max is with me and chewing on a bone, so that's what you're gonna hear in the background. It totally annoys me. So if it annoys you, I'm with you. But I got a new pen and I just cleaned it out because I tested it and wow, I am most impressed with these Asvine nibs. I have received the 1.1 stub. This is the fine. In my last Asvine video where I talked about the C80, I tried a medium nib and all three of those nibs have written amazingly well right out of the box, which is something that is definitely important to me. It makes my overall feeling for a pen so much better when the unboxing experience is pleasant. But I filmed the video, I talked about the pen. The video will come out sometime soon. Need to see where I can slot it in. But I have been extremely in love with Diamine Overcast, which is the ink for, I believe, December 19th. Let me grab the notebook so I can show you. This is day 21 and I completely skipped a page, but since I am still writing down my impressions of pens on how they work for me, I'm just going to use this page as a pen impression page. Now, interestingly enough, this is the very first ink that bled through the Tomoe River paper. This is definitely the original Tomoe River paper because these notebooks are quite old. And this is the very first one where this happened, I believe. But I don't want to talk about day 21. I would like to talk about day 19. Oh my goodness, look at the shading in this ink. Now, it felt dry, and I still want to see how it feels in a pen. And so I thought, why not try the Asvine V800? I have a 1.1 stub and I have the fine nib. Both were quite wet. So why not try it out with these? Now, I'm not so sure that I will be able to actually vacuum fill the pen through this, because if I dip the nib, first of all, would I even get through here? I need to put Max in place. So I could move it into a ink miser so that the ink is distributed differently. But if I submerge this in here, there is not enough coverage of the nib, so that I'm actually afraid that I might not even get a fill. So what I'm going to do is move this in here and then fill it differently and just pipette it inside. Here's a pipette. How much do we want in there? Maybe a little bit more. I'm hoping for a good experience. So this was about 1.5 milliliters that I was able to get in there. And I think I want to start with the 1.1 stub. Now, where's the grip section? Right here. They're easily swapped out. You just hold this here. What you don't want to do is misalign tines while holding it, so it's better to hold it back here so that you don't accidentally turn part of the flanges of the nib, tines, and misalign them. So that's in. Let's screw this on here as well. And then with a vacuum filler pen, you might remember that you need to keep this part open so that your piston rod does not seal the chamber or the section where the ink will be once you, so that you don't constrict the flow, basically. So now we want this to flow really quickly. There's still water in there and there's ink coming. So let's try and see if that works. Here's my, let's close this. Here's my, what do we call this? My ink notebook. And I think this is where earlier I tested the fine nib, because it felt scratchy in the beginning and I didn't know if it was just because I dipped it and then it didn't want to write. Obviously, this is very light. Now, that's weird. Okay, let's hope for the best and see how this is going to work out. This is the Diamine V800 in transparent with silver trim. I think they also have this in gold. I really like transparent and silver, so I chose this. It has a 1.1 stub, and the ink that is in here is Diamine Overcast. And definitely it is light. It flows nicely, so it's not super dry. This horizontal lines, upstrokes, right to left, and this is how wet the ink is. I definitely think that this is not an ink that I would normally put into a pen. I think it's too light, so this ink is too light. But I will actually just keep this in here to play with it. Oh, that is interesting. Do you see what's happening here? Man, when I was in, I think we learned how to write with a fountain pen in 2nd grade, but we had to do all of those, I think with pencil as well in 1st grade. So we might have to do stuff like that. Lines of this. And then we would have to do, for instance, eyes, and then dot them all. And then, for instance, like minimum would be something that we would have to write. Now, I don't think we had to write minimum, but just over and over attaching letters to each other, or these movements of the L that you go up, and then how big your L. This was not acceptable. My teacher would say, this is not right. You need to go up and then slowly back down, like have an L shape like this. It was writing drills for sure, but man, my handwriting was really nice afterwards. So this is Diamine Overcast in a 1.1 stub. Not something that I would usually put in a pen. However, I think I will leave it in here. And then we can also see how it performs being inked for a while in the pen, if there's evaporation and stuff. So what I do need to, this needs to be cleaned. This needs to be put away. So as maybe you have noticed, I'm usually filming the snippets from my desk videos a week in advance. That's how it worked out. It gives me the opportunity to just, edit. Well, kind of edit. I have the suspicion that I will need to buy a new one of those stamps sooner rather than later, because I think one of those is going to rip apart pretty soon. So I'm going to log this here, and then I also need to make sure that the pens that I'm cleaning today, that they are going to be taken out. This is Asvine V800 A1.1. It sometimes, maybe it's the angle that I hold it, it feels like skatey almost. And also, are you seeing how this bleeds? And like it feathers and it bleeds. Interesting. Diamine. Maybe it's because of my hand oils. Day 19. Overcast. And then, I mean the bleeding. Yeah, this is interesting. I find it very interesting to see that there is inks that don't bleed through, but this one, which is so light, has so much bleed through on this paper. Let me check this here. What does this look like on the other side? Nope. This is Sanzin, I believe. And it also didn't happen over here. Oh, well, no. This is normal because I'm using water and so much Oh, see, I didn't think that this is bleeding through all of these. Not all, but this is an extreme sheen as well. Gala did not. Ruby Taffeta, I don't know where the thing is. Let's see. So this is original Tomoe River paper, and this is still not dry over here, I believe. And this is Sanzin. So it almost feels to me like the paper, the Sanzin, is holding up better to this calendar than, well, you can't really see it here. Mary Rose, again, where I added water. So I am not concerned about this at all. This feels normal to me when you play with ink like that. This is not a Diamine Inkvent ink here. But also, this is an extreme sheen, or is it just a sheen? Extreme sheen. There's no bleed through in this big swatch either. Diamine Nostalgia. So I said earlier I was going to just use the page that I accidentally skipped for this stuff. No bleed through of Burr. This is a pigment ink with shimmer. Bubbly, yeah, with water. Molten basalt. There's some of the green right here. There's more green here because this is also molten basalt. I am still logging all the inks that I received in my ink mess swap. Interestingly enough, I have not used any of these inks yet besides Fuyugaki. And also, these are very similar in tone. I see that this is the same, a different color, but they're very similar in the way that they appear. Like this is, the lightness of the ink is very similar in these three. And then here, mittens. That is something that's super interesting. This is the pigment inks did not even, you know, like even with water, they did not come through. And as you can see, I cut out the thing that we did last week, which I did not like at all. I just cut it out and stuck part of this page here behind so that I could have the same. And then I messed it up here as well. And here, dripped water on it. But I like this style of swatching better for this flat rectangular box than putting in a shape that just doesn't work with this grid. This is much better. Yeah, so wow, this is still not fully dried here. I have weird opinions on the Diamine ink vent, and I think I'm going to talk about this a little more next week when it's completely done. But I love all of these extreme sheening inks, or sheening inks in general, with water. This is the most fun that I'm having when I'm making these pages, is with these sheening inks, because the color difference is so huge. And I love how these, you know, the shading here, these water, when there's water that is drying later, like how it flakes out and blooms. I love that. I'm less amused with, for instance, an ink. I love purples, but this feels super flat to me. It isn't super duper flat. I can still see some of these, but as a whole, I'm more excited about this page than this one. Okay. I took notes. Yes, my ephemera. I swapped around where I keep my ephemera. I have this Sojourner Fold TN. I've had this for several years now. It was in my box of traveler's notebooks, and I actually at some point I thought I was going to sell it, but I moved out of the TN that I had my ephemera stuff in before and swapped all of the stuff over here, and it's still extremely full because I added another sticker release insert here. I have another one that I could put in here if I wanted to, because my goal is to actually take out all of my PET tapes that I have. So this needs to go over here as well, and stick them into this insert. And I still have quite a few, so that is going to take a while, but I have noticed that I am not using PET tape unless it's, or I don't look at it. I don't audition it to use it. This is working. That sucks. So maybe we need to put two next to each other on. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take this off one more time. Just do it this way. I'm just not thinking of pulling out my PET tape folder and auditioning the images, the elements that are on there. And I'm just so sick of hoarding all this stuff. Could be a sign of having too much. We've talked about this before, and I'm pretty sure I have too much. But also, every time I look at all these things, they appeal to me. I like them. I want to use them. I'm just trying to facilitate the use. And then if it's in here and I'm not using it as much, then maybe I'll come back and use it on an envelope when I'm sending out mail or stuff like that, you know? Ooh, this is almost too close together. Like this. Yep. And I feel like I should just cut out one more to stick it right here. I guess we can do that if we find scissors though. And then I didn't want to cut out all of these. I'm just gonna put those into my folder, and I don't think I will cut out like all of my PET tape. That's a goal that I feel like I wouldn't be able to achieve, and then I would feel disheartened if I set the goal of I have to put all of the PET tape strips that I have received from friends and that is on rolls that I purchased, which I have already started to put the stuff that I have purchased onto in here, cutting it out and sticking it in here. That's what made me realize that if I don't go and cut out the samples that I received from friends and put them in here, I'm not going to use them, and I do really want to. So that's my plan. And I think if I'm just, you know, if I have, let's say, a complete roll up of one of the samples or more than one, then let me just have the goal that I'm cutting out this and sticking it in, and the other parts that I have go back in there. And as I, you know, go through the year, this is not a plan that I want to achieve right now and tomorrow. It needs to be done. If I can work on this throughout the next year, use stuff, add more, then I will be extremely happy about the whole thing situation. So this I will put to the side so I can put it away. And I wish these wouldn't print like that. Oh, this is 2026, so I can put this to my stuff. This also I want to put to my stuff. I haven't read this yet. I want to do that soon. But I have this I want to use for Christmas stuff. I want to go through this more soon. But this is the newest extravagant hope mailer. I want to put it away and use it. But I wanted to take out all the things that I feel like would go into my setup for my new journals, and then I will deal with all of this later off camera. So this might also go in my... See how fat this is? Let's take out the stuff that stands over, but I can barely close this. But I really like it. So I like that this is all here. I think at some point sooner rather than later, maybe next week. Maybe that's an idea for next week. I'm gonna show you something else new. Refresh, ephemera, take out old stuff. Maybe that's a good idea for next week's Snippets video. Who knows what I'm going to talk about then. You will hear all about that little teeny tiny plotter soonish when you watch my lineup video. this I want to put into my creative journal, which I don't really know where it is. So let's put this to the side. That was one topic. Put stuff away, which I didn't do. I need to figure out a way on how to do that well. So I'm gonna throw away. So I have decided, oh, look what I just found. I haven't finished my page for this week, but next week is Christmas and I want to use these up. I've had these for a while and it would be awesome if I could stick them down and enjoy having used something up. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, baby. Let's not talk about you and me. Let's also talk about this. And let's take a sip of tea. I bought the Stash tea advent calendar. And this tea is winter espresso. It's black tea with coffee flavor, basically. So, things I have decided, and we talk about rules soon, because I'm already learning that I don't want to have any rules. But I'm missing one more thing, which is down here. I had put away some stuff. I feel like I want to put this on one of my journals, but I think this is going on my writing journal. And I also want to put this on one of my journals. Maybe I'll have to take this out. Okay, so because I have put aside so much stuff that I would like to put on journals, and I feel like it's time. It is time to commit. So, if you've heard me talk about this hours research journal for 2026, you heard me say that I'm not sure if it's gonna work for me, and oh no. And I was in that mindset that what if it doesn't work? Then I'm wasting all of my stickers. And number one, I think I will love using this. And number two, I already started, because how do I even start? I don't know. But I thought, why not take that fear of starting, of the blank page, away from the new year and just start it now. It already starts on December 29th. And so I will be starting this in 2025 anyway. And so why not start it right now? These are things that you were included with the journal. No, I just put it away, and you would be able to decorate and enhance this cover here, which is a really nice idea, but I feel it is too much ours style and not my style. So nice idea. I love this. Maybe throughout the year when I'm sick of my cover and I'm still using this, then I might come back to this, but not right now. So first of all, I had something that I just pulled out and now it's gone. And why is it gone? We don't know. It's right here. So I received this yesterday to the you who showed up today. Dear friend, this is in celebration of you waking up. This is in joyful celebration of the comb through your hair, your favorite soft shirt pulled from the drawer, the food you filled your stomach with, no matter what it was. This is in celebration of you showing up for your life in all the small ways that are really big ways. It matters. You matters. And I would love to put this right here, but of course, I might need to cut this down a little, or I might just have to do this here or here. I think I need to cut this down first. And maybe I don't even want the December here. Now my cutter is over there, and I don't want to use my cutter, but then I need a ruler because I can't cut straight lines, and I cannot, for the life of me, I don't like not having straight lines, if that makes sense. So I will use scissors and a ruler, and I'm also going in, like, I will totally use my ballpoint pen for lines that I might not be able to cut straight. But I can't not have lines here, and then just eyeball it and it not being straight. That doesn't work for me. So we'll do just that. And I hope that by cutting it down a little more, I hope that that eliminates the space problem, which is something that when you're not, this is not straight. Well, you know what? We decided we're trying. We're not working too hard on it. So now I don't have scissors that I like cutting with. These are nice, a nice idea. They just don't work as well as I would have hoped them to work. And I can't find the other ones. I know where the gray ones are, but I don't know where my turquoise pair of scissors is. Now the reason I don't like them is I will show you in a second. Well, that is not straight. When you come to the end, it does this. See? What is this supposed to be? It's because these are tilted this way. Weird. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using my new journal because this is stuff that I really would like to put into my journals, but I sometimes refrain from it because it takes up too much space. I don't want to have rules, but that one is it's actually a one that I need to have ish, kind of. Yeah. Well, if I cut it even more here, then it will fit. That's exactly what we're going to do. So, but this makes me think that I really have to put in an effort into finding, yeah, even though, what if, I don't know if I like rounded corners, but if I round this corner, then not at all what I had in mind, but I like how this now, yeah, this is what we're going to do, or I am, you're just watching. And yeah, so I want to sticker the heck out of this whole thing. I want this to be just so much fun and no rules. Now, rules are good and bad. And I am in constant, like, you know, when you're caught in something and then you move and you're pressing against the rules and then suddenly it becomes too tight, like the binds that are around you. That's how I sometimes feel with the self-imposed rules that on the one hand I really love having because they make it so much better for me. How about we'll put a heart here, but and then I'm gonna go and decorate the outside. So I was going to talk about rules. Do I want to show the things to you? Maybe not. So while I'm cutting out, I can talk about the rules. Earlier, I think yesterday, I looked at my huge box of paper. And by paper, I mean mostly fountain pen friendly paper. Big enough paper that I can make standard size traveler's notebook inserts from them. They're often leftover pieces from journals that didn't work out. And so I basically skeletized them and took out all the unused pages. And my first reaction was, in 2026, I am not going to buy any notebooks. And then I realized that why do I have to make rules for myself all the time? I can go in with the intention of making as many journals myself as possible and only buy the notebooks where the handmade notebook isn't a good replacement. For instance, now my microphone just fell off. I hope you didn't. That wasn't a big issue. If it was, maybe I can cut it out. So here's the example. I have used this journal. I made this myself as a long form writing journal, and I've really enjoyed using it. This is MD paper from a one-day, one-page journal that my friend Amy gave to me, and I have used those pages and cut it down, obviously, in my standard size notebook. And I can see myself using a lot of similar type of paper. I still have quite a lot of this specific paper left, and making long form writing journals for myself, just like I did with this one, for the whole year of 2026 and even beyond. But what I can see myself doing is making a reading journal that needs lines, not grid, from scrap paper. I really like the spacing of the MD notebook, and so if I run out in 2026 and I impose that rule that is called I can't buy any notebooks, then I'm out of luck. And I don't want to do that. So I would rather just keep in mind that I have notebooks in my stash that I can use for all the things. If I don't want to make a long form writing journal for myself, I have standard traveler's notebooks in my box that I can take. But if there is a specific need for a specific journal and I don't have that right now, then why do I always have to come up with rules that I don't think I should have? Here, how about I'll stick this right here. And then I'll go and stick stuff on the outside. That's exactly why I came here in the first place. And I have so many stickers that I think I really want to stick it all down. So this looks okay. Let's put this here. Maybe I'll come back and stick something on there at a later date, but this is good for now. I love that this is just cardstock and I can go ham with this. I would love to use this somewhere, but I can also, let's do this in a parallel. Oh, I love this. This is black. I like that. I wanted to use this. Unnameable. This is, I need to put this on a journal from 2025. I feel like I should keep this for my next long form writing journal. And then I have purchased all these USPS stickers. I wanted to put this on here, and I kept that like glue here for that purpose. Maybe even a heart. Oh, I like that. Okay, foxy and fine, feline good, life's a hood, don't be a stinker. There's a lot of orange here. Oh, 2026. This one is from Stationary Dumpling. I wanted to do this, things to take with me, things I want to leave behind. Somewhere. I don't know where exactly I want to put this yet. Get up, be myself, tell the truth, love my people, live the crap out of this life. Oh. Maybe I'm gonna stick this on here, not sure. Oh. I got this from my friend Caitlin a long time ago, and I feel like it needs to go somewhere. This is huge. So how about we are just going to start with, well, first of all, I want to cut this down. I know this is supposed to be an ink splat, but it's not gonna work for me right now. Okay, I want to round this off. So how about something like this? La glue down here. Like so. Maybe this goes here. This goes up here. And this here. Here, I don't know, so we will see if maybe we want to put maybe this down here. Maybe I'll put something on the inside. So I'm gonna put this to the side because I'm really actually loving this just as it is, and then I have a ton of stickers still right here. And I also, I just thought of something. Where is it? What if, where's the envelope? This is supposed to be me and Max. And what if, can I find, Okay, let's take this. Put this. Yeah, I like this. Okay, so maybe I'll put this somewhere else or not. Who knows? Okay. What if I just start sticking things down? So the glue goes under here and over here. So I think I need to start actually with these two. What was I going to do? I don't know. I'm just gonna commit. And there is Max yet again. Hi. What is it? Do you want to go downstairs? No, no eating of the knitting stuff, please. Leave it. What is the dog doing? Okay. I guess I'll be back later. I'm eating ice cold pizza. So I just deposited Max downstairs. So then we have this. And I wanted to put this like so. Also, I want it to kind of be parallel to this edge, because as I said, I do not like when it's not parallel. This one is from Sugar Turtle Studio. So here we go. I think I also have the sticker sheet from Traveler's Company for 2020. I don't know what that is, 2026. So why shouldn't I use that? Okay, and then this goes here. And I'm using, hope it still works, using this glue here. I was looking for it everywhere, and then I found it in the toolbox that my son so he took it away. I can't really say what glue this is because I don't remember. I also have a full bottle of this, or the glue that is in here that I put in there is somewhere in my room here, but I don't know where. So whenever this is empty, I will aspire to find where I left it. It is not super glue, but it's actually super glue because it glues superbly. Cat hair. So let me just push down the edges. Okay, then I shall be looking for the 2026 sticker sheet from, why is this not going on there now? There we go. 2020 from Traveler's Company. Then this. And then we'll continue auditioning more stickers. Cool. I love this. This works really well. Where could I put that sticker sheet though? Here. No, no, no. sucks. I don't want to have this here. Okay, so I would probably have to cut it out and see. Oh, the moon. Oh, how, where, when, and why. I think I want this there. So I could put something small right here. Where's the... Nope. These two don't work. I still have this one. Maybe for the back. Are you interested in sitting here all the way to the back side? Or how are we feeling? These are by the way, this is yarn. A lot of these are from the Little Red House. Oh, I love this. My cat. I have never been at Mount Hood in Oregon. One in every color, please. Maybe this one. Not here though. Another one. Maybe backside. Big. This paper is definitely not fountain pen friendly, but I could put this on my ink journal, so I'm gonna keep this right here. These are huge and it's really hard to put them on their backside maybe. No Birkenstocks. Backside maybe. Backside maybe. Who sent this to me? Jasmine Marie Plans gave this to me. Maybe I should put this on here somewhere. What about perspective? This doesn't work that way. Oh, look at this. Hands off my stickers. Powered by yarn. That's cute. Lucky you. Maybe I can put that on here. Yarn. This is also a fountain pen sticker thing. Nope. What if? Okay, keep on climbing. Nope. Maybe this one, maybe that one. I like that one, but I'm not gonna put this on. This is trash. Nope. Oh, my friend Chelsea gave this to me a long time ago. Road trip, more road trip. I have so many Travelers company stickers. It's not even funny. This goes back in here. And then this is also trash. And what are these? Well, I do want to use more of these, but for some reason I don't ever have the opportunity to, which makes me feel like maybe I should give them away. Because I don't seem to be able to use them. and they're big, as I said. So okay, here, the moon, let's just stick it down. It's good, it's gonna be fine. I got it from a friend. My friend is going to be very excited. Oh, I'm seeing something else. Shoot. Is going to be very excited when and if I can peel this off the backing paper. The problem is that I don't know how it goes. But what if I just decide that Blackbird letterpress? Let's just decide that this is how it goes, and then this needs to be cut out a little more. So I have this is a sticker sheet that I maybe bought when I was in 9th grade. I still have this tiger sticker left and that frog that you saw. I think there were 2 different sticker sheets, but I bought them at the same time. And I have hoarded them ever since, and it is time. It is time. Yep, I think this works. What if, oh, nope. How about, so this is actually some kind of foil thing, and I don't know if it still works. But as I said earlier, I'm just going to use the heck out of all the things that I have because I don't want to keep hoarding the shit. I'm done with hoarding the shit, and I need to make sure that this foil is sticky so that it doesn't stick to anything else and tear apart my stuff. So maybe what I need to do is make it smaller so that that doesn't happen. This is transfer foil or something. Okay, this can all go trash. And then we can try this right here. I hope I did not do something completely wrong. It would be awesome if this came back off, but we will see. Yeah. Okay. See, this is holographic foil. There we go. Oh my God, I love this. Yes. Okay, where's the U thing? The sheep? Here. What if we put this up here? Nope. The circle. Let's audition all the things. Yeah. Okay, backside. This is another one of those that is not 100%. This I'm going to use in my next writing journal. So, okay, maybe there will be more stickers, but I will do this. Hello, I'm worth it. Okay, I'm gonna stick this down. I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to stick this, this, and this, and this down. And maybe I'll hoard this a little while longer, but I promise I will use it in 2026. So, where are we going to put this? How about I'm going to remove this, and then I don't have to be so worried about, you know, there we go. It would be cool if I had a, what about these ones? This one works. These are too big. This one is too big. So, how about, wow, this is such an interesting exercise because at one point you, or at least I, feel very sticker happy, which means that I have no problem using them all. And I'm so glad that I am doing that right now, because that's exactly how I want this to be. And having this journal with such a huge surface area that is not distracting at all, I love that. Over here on this side, I overlapped all the things. Over here, I feel like more of a leaving space, and that's fine. I think that's the beauty of being able to do this in a certain way. There is no right or wrong about this right here. There, where's the U? Okay, let me put the hugs down. Okay. I'm really considering subscribing to Sophie McPike again because I just love her art. Let's just decide that this is where this goes. There's an awkward opening right here. Yep, much better. There's a lot of space around these white space here. I could take that away, but I'm deciding not to. These are so expensive. No, well, no, $2.95 is okay, I think. I don't know about you. Wow. Please come off here. Just work for me, will you? Good. There we go. There it is. Okay. Okay, so this one goes here. I already know that. Do I want these to be closer or further away? I'm just going to make them touch because I like that. And then this one is also going down right here. And then this one, I don't feel like this works here. This feels like it's getting too much weight, but also, who cares? If I decide that I want to have it here, then that's how much weight it gets. I think this is an amazing piece of art, by the way, Chelsea, and so it deserves this space right here. So, nope. Maybe I need to cut this out in a circle, but maybe I can get one more traveler's notebook sticker on here, or nope. Oh. Yep. Okay, so this was one of my journal lineups in 2020, maybe. I feel like I should put it somewhere sometime soon. Okay. And then I have a little bit more space for something else. I totally did not use any of this. And maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? What I do want to do is put this away. Put all the stickers that I found that I thought had purposes for onto the other journals that I felt like I should put them on. Okay, this goes away again. And this also goes. And then here. This one. This I didn't want to put anywhere. How about yes. Good idea. And then this one down here. Also, Angela from Pens, Paper and Plans. Pens, Paper, Plans. I haven't seen you anywhere on social media. I hope you're doing well. I'd love to see you. Maybe somewhere. Are you going to any pen shows this year? Okay, there we go. This is done for now, and I am going to put the cover around because there is something printed on the cover, which we will see if that is affecting it or not. No, I don't think so. There we go. Front. Cat is a little hard to see, but it's there. And then the back. And then there's some room for more smaller stickers still, but yeah, I love this. I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. And then I want to put this on here. And this is a huge big card. So what I'm going to do, and I hope it's gonna work. out. I don't have a clear cover or even cover for this, so we will see. Hopefully I'm not gonna trash it. Please, please work. Well, I'm not going to make it much thinner, but what I definitely, hopefully will be able to do is make the paper grippier so that the glue can actually like connect this to that. There we go. Ah. Are you still here? I also, just as abundantly as I used my stickers, I really want to do that more in 2026. Use the stuff that I have with abundance and joy and not fret over every single decision, or that I will run out of a sticker, or how I should or shouldn't do things. I loved 2025 in the sense that in my journals, because I gave myself so much freedom. I gave myself freedom to change to a different journal when it didn't work anymore. I gave myself the freedom to use the layout in different ways. And I hope to be able to do the same things with the ephemera that I have, because I feel like that is something that I'm still way too anxious about, on how to use or not to use certain things. And when I'm saying this, I'm thinking of something, one specific thing in particular, and let me tell you exactly what that is once I glued this down. So let's hope this is going to work. Otherwise, what I'm going to do with this is slap some clear tape on top of it. I want to get all the way to the edge, but also not too far. And I want to do this. And then, in theory, I would love to just kind of do this with this. Same here. Okay, let's see if this is going to work out. That's what I was fearing. Sheet. Ah! Okay, whatever. I hope I can stand above and be nice to myself if it looks hideous after. It's fine. It's just a YouTube notebook. Alrighty, there we go. And there's even more glue, and it's watercolor, so this is dangerous territory that I am in right now. Okay, let me throw this away and let me grab what I want to show you. But before I do that, I need to cap this glue, otherwise it's gonna dry out. Ouch. I broke my fingernail yesterday when I was at work. That wasn't the best thing to happen, because now it feels super soft and bendy. So, I mean, specifically the items that I receive from Brandy Kincaid in the Extravagant Hope Mailer, mostly these types of cards. I seem to hoard them. I love them. Often they're printed on the back. I love those, but I don't use them a lot because sometimes when there are things on the back, I feel like I can't put it in my journal because then I don't see one side, or I don't want to tip in so that I can fold it over every single thing on every single page. That's just not how I journal. But I decided that with this one, for instance, I could just glue this in, and then, first of all, it's written on the front, so I don't have to make this list on the back. I can make this list right here, or here I had these two. I don't really know what to do with them. I love them. They resonate with me, but what exactly am I going to do with them? And then I'm like, I'm gonna waste pages. See where I'm going? Why do I even fret about wasting pages when I can make I made this. Let me show you the box of papers that I have. It doesn't even fit in the frame. This is, let me zoom out. This is a full box of paper and cardstock that I can use to make journals. I don't need to save space in my notebooks. I do not. I can use the pages with abundance. I can stick everything that I like into my journals without hesitation. And that is something that I really want to keep in mind, especially for those undated journals. There's no need to save space at all. I can make more. So that's that. There we go. This is where I am right now. I'm really looking forward to starting this journal. This is what this looks like now. It's okay. It dries clear, I think. And I will keep looking at this. This is going to be my YouTube journal. I love how this looks. I love it. So maybe I should put it somewhere underneath something. This is how my 2026 creative journal is looking. And I cannot wait to start using this. And I'm really excited that I already filled this part. And yeah, I'll take you along on how this is going to work out for me. Now, the only thing that I need to do is figure out what else I wanted to talk about to you today. Rules versus no rules, make my own journals, use them in abundance, writing journal, reading journal, quotes journal. I showed you and talked about all of that. I received, now unfortunately there's addresses on there. I received Christmas mail by all of you guys. And oh my gosh, there's more. These are just the ones that I just brought upstairs. Whoa, I have not sent Christmas cards in a long time, and I haven't received a lot of Christmas cards in a long time because obviously if you don't send any, you don't get any. And I've been hesitant because I don't really want to share my whole family story. Those, you send a card to the family friend that you haven't talked to in years. And for me, that feels so fake. And then you include a teeny tiny letter about what everybody's doing. And I don't want to do that. But I can totally get on board with these. And I'm going to put into my teeny tiny notebook that I think I want to have in my pants pockets at all times. I'm going to write down, send Christmas mail to journal friends, because that's who I want to send Christmas cards to. Send Christmas cards. And I'm writing this down here because in theory, I'd be happier to do that than send those family friends that you haven't seen in a long time and you don't really care about anymore. One of those weird things. This is awesome. And I would just like to openly officially thank you so much. They arrived. I will be returning the favor in some sort of way. But as you know, it's going to take me a long time. Last thing I want to talk about is knitting, because I thought you all deserve an update. Look at this. I'm finished. I did not finish them the way that I had hoped. But also, I'm such an unorganized person. Why would I actually hope that I would make two of the exact same things? Because look at this. This mitt is much shorter than this one. And I am not going to unravel them. I think this one actually fits really nicely. This one is a little long, but it's gonna work. It's not really noticeable at all. Here is what these West Coast mitts look like. I am planning on making at least one more pair for myself. However, I really want to take good notes. Also leave stitch markers in here so I can retrace my steps if my notes aren't good enough. But yeah, this is what this looks like. This is how they feel now. I really like them. I haven't actually gotten to use them yet because it's way too warm here right now. And then I was also finally able to cast on this hat that I was talking about. I was able to cast it on with double pointed needles. Well, I hope when I block this, it looks a little neater, but actually I like how this pattern knits up the fabric that it makes. It's a little stretchy. I hope it's not too stretchy. This is where the round starts and ends. I'm using Madeline Tosh TML Triple Twist, which is a yarn that is discontinued, and I was able to get it at a really good price. And yeah, so I'm just knitting in rounds. So I was able to do this with double pointed needles that I moved up a size because I am knitting so tightly. But I have them on this magic loop now because I was not able to knit with the 16-inch circular needles. They would then, the cable would be all the way through, and then you had your needles up here and you would be able to knit in the round. Well, I'm still knitting in the round, but it would be one teeny tiny hat circumference circle like this. But the needles are like this long and I just can't, they need to be at least as long as my hand so that when I'm knitting, I have something against my hand here. I didn't know this about myself until I tried to use those needles. But now they're on this magic loop. It's a little short and I'm wondering what length this is. This is a 30-inch, so I could actually get a longer one. Need to check if I have a longer one because we have longer ones at my work, so I could see if I could buy longer so that it's not as tight of a loop as this one is. But yeah, I will keep you updated on the progress. And I am super inspired every year, every single year. I'm super inspired by Angie from Yarn and Yarns and her 12 cast on projects. And what I would maybe want to do is pull out my projects yet again that have been on the needles for years and years, and maybe not cast on anything, but maybe over the Christmas break or so, familiarize myself with each one of them. I did that recently, but it didn't stick. But maybe I'll start a new knitting notebook or journal and write down what I remember. And then maybe pick one project every month that I'll focus on with not completion in mind, but more like, this is the month where I'm gonna knit a row or two on this project and see how I still like it. Is it still bringing me joy? Is this something that I want to use as a finished project? If so, then how long will it going to take me to finish? Yeah, that's one of those ideas that I had. And actually, the more I talk about it, the more I like it. So maybe I should make that actually happen. Yeah, there we go. This is all I had to say. I'm really excited about these. I love how the texture knit up. This is 2 strands of yarn held double. I love the color. And I told my husband the other day, this fits with all of my clothes that I have super nicely. And then I have a pink gray gradient hat that goes from purples, pinks over oranges to yellow. And it also works with all of the stuff that I have as well as this one, which is cool. So I'm thinking of casting on a hat for these mittens, so I can have a hat with this pattern and then casting on mittens with the other pattern, yarn. So I have 2 matching hat and mitten combos. That would be cool. I think this one is for my son. He chose this color, so that red is not me, but he probably will love this. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I really love hanging out with you every Saturday or Sunday. I'm filming these on Saturdays. You see them the next week on Sunday. I hope that whatever you're doing over this time of year is bringing you lots of joy. I just want to remind you that winter solstice is over. The days are getting longer. We are moving towards the light, and I hope you can hang in there for a little while longer until the sun will shine wherever you are and you get to enjoy life again. I am really struggling at this time of year. I'm super tired, super unmotivated. That's why I'm knitting, because I'm just sitting there doing nothing and I feel like my hands need to be occupied. Thank you so much for taking all the time today. I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, bye.